In 1989, Judge Gerald T. Wetherington of Miami, Florida, noticed an alarming increase in the number of crack cocaine users among those convicted of crimes in the area. These nonviolent offenders, whom the judge had seen and convicted multiple times, were committing crimes in order to support their drug addiction. Along with a few colleagues, Judge Wetherington established the first drug court in the United States in order to help drug-addicted convicts receive treatment and prevent perpetual incarceration. Within 10 years, there were nearly 500 drug courts across the nation, and by 2005, that number more than doubled. Today, there are drug courts in all 50 states, one such existing right here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Judge David L. Ashworth has been a judge in Lancaster County since the year 2000. Presiding over civil, criminal, and juvenile courts, Judge Ashworth was also appointed as Lancaster County Drug Courts Judge during its advent in 2005.
Like any other community, there is a certain segment of the population who commit crimes who do so because of their drug addiction. And if all you do is warehouse people for relatively minor crimes, put them in jail, and have them get out without addressing the underlying issues, you're destined to have the same thing repeat time and time again, like a revolving door.
I started drinking when I was about 14 and gradually got into like smoking pot and dropping some acid here and there, and I just wanted to fit in. I never felt good like, you know, going to Hempfield, and I just never fit in with that crowd really, and I picked up heroin when I was 17, and it pretty much was over from there.
In the traditional case, I'm the referee. I provide the level playing field. In drug court, I become actively involved as a member of the drug court team, but I become actively involved in a participant's involvement in the drug court program.
It was beneficial to know that like the legal system was going to try to do something different with all these people who were going into jail because of substance abuse, and I found it very encouraging. Just again, the legal accountability was helpful, and the help that was available.
The underlying success of every drug court program depends on the cohesiveness, compatibility, and expertise of the program's backbone, the drug court team itself. This diverse group of talented professionals convenes weekly to discuss all aspects of each individual drug court participant's life. The team consists of the drug court judge, an assistant district attorney, a public defender, probation officers, a drug and alcohol counselor, a member of the Drug and Alcohol Commission, a mental health professional, and the individual who connects all the dots, Annie Flood, the drug court team coordinator. Mrs. Flood previously worked in the probation and parole field and has served as the drug court coordinator in Lancaster County since 2008.
We take each individual person and we really try to focus on their needs and their concerns and try to establish plans related specifically to them. And as far as if someone is not doing well, we'll look at different sanctions, which could consist of essays or jail if warranted, but we try to give them activities that it's going to help them learn and find out more about themselves, and to eventually help them with their recovery and get them on the right path.
Judge, it's funny, I think when I phased up to my second phase, he comes down off the podium, they give these little gifts, if you will, as motivators to continue your progress. And he came down off the podium, and I just went to hug him like a natural response, and he hugged me, and we have a great relationship today. He was different. It was a very different experience, and a very positive experience in my life.
Drug court is not an easy way out. It's not a warm, fuzzy type program. Right. It's a program that holds people responsible for their actions in a very strict way, but we do so not just with the negative type of things like putting people in jail, we are very actively involved in helping them help themselves with their addiction.
I hated having a curfew because growing up, I didn't abide by a curfew with my parents. I didn't like being told I had to be in by a certain time. Having to ask to go out of town, having to ask to go overnight. And again, just the rigid nature of the program, all the appointments, and you can't be late. The mandated counseling. I mean, it's a rigorous program, and you have to be really committed if you expect to be successful. And that was the hardest thing, because addicts are not committed to anything. We're not accountable, we're not responsible, we don't like being told what to do. And I think that was the hardest part.
Well, it is a constant struggle working with this population. We commit a lot of time and a lot of effort, and not everyone does come out successfully, and that can be very, very frustrating at times.
People who come into our program, if they're serious about their recovery, we provide them help. If they're still into playing games and they're still into their addictive behaviors, then they're held responsible, and frankly, they don't last very long in drug court.
It's really up to the individual what they want to put into the program. They will get back out.
Basically, and most importantly, somebody has to want to get clean and sober, or it doesn't work. So they submit an application, the application is reviewed. If the offenses, the criminal charges, qualify for drug court, and they meet other requirements, they are then allowed to come into the program voluntarily. After they come into the program, however, their continued participation, while it's voluntary, they have to comply with all of the strict requirements, or by their actions, they choose to withdraw themselves from the program.
As of right now, on average, we have been having 10 graduates a year. And if you look at the cost of incarceration, typically in Lancaster County, it's about $30 to $40 a day for someone to be incarcerated. On average, the average inmate, it costs about $13,000 a year for someone to be incarcerated. Whereas if you're looking at someone who's in the community and participating in treatment, it's an average of $3,000 a year. So if you take our 10 graduates per year and you figure that that could cost, if they were all incarcerated, a total of $130,000 a year, with treatment it's only $30,000 a year. Therefore we're saving $100,000 for our 10 graduates every year, which is ultimately taxpayer money.
When I got clean, I continued to do administrative work, and about a year and a half ago I started working part-time at one of the halfway houses I had been through several times. And when I lost my full-time job at the beginning of the year, I decided to go back to school. I want to be an addictions counselor, so that's what I'm working on right now. And I'm in the midst of interviewing, and I'm hoping to hear back about a position at a rehab full-time as a counselor assistant. And I just want to be able to give back.
I was seeing many people time and time again for relatively minor offenses who obviously had drug and alcohol issues, and I just thought that there had to be a better way of dealing with it.
We have an alumni group who is supporting each other and other addicts in the community, as well as those in the drug court program, the current participants. People are reuniting with their families. So all around there's a lot of good benefits that we're seeing from the drug court program.
It's incredibly gratifying to see people change their lives and at the same time take responsibility for their actions. The personal satisfaction of doing it is probably what got me started and what has kept me going as the drug court judge.
I just hope that the program can continue to grow and to continue to help addicts who are suffering. I think it would eliminate the overcrowding in the prison, which is right over here next door, because a lot of the crimes that are committed are directly related to substance abuse, alcoholism, and if we can just continue to hit that core issue and treat people for their addictions, I think we would take out a lot of the crime that goes on. And I just hope that drug court can continue to reach other people, reach the sick and suffering that are out on the street, and that think that that's the only way they have to live.
As drug courts continue to grow and evolve nationwide, Lancaster County Drug Court will be watched very closely as one specific court that is off to a very positive start. Thank you for watching.